my transcript. The bit.ly to access the slides is showing on the screen, and we will be putting that in the chat. If my coworkers could help me put that in repeatedly as people join, because the new ones can't see the old chat. So the bit.ly is bit.ly/, and it is case sensitive, so capital M, lowercase y, capital PD, lowercase I-N, like in Nancy, and then NCEES, all in capital letters, NCEES, and then lowercase SEPT 2020. And again, we'll put that in the chat for today's slides. All right. So, welcome to our Webex training. If you've joined us in the past, we've had GoToMeeting, and we've been required to start using Webex training, so do bear with us. We've learned a little bit, but there's still more to learn about Webex. So if you joined us and you have a full screen, whenever I share my screen, a lot of your controls will move up to the top of your screen here. And so you can hover over the blue bar. It should say you're viewing Cammie Nairn's screen, I think. And you can scroll down and open the participants panel, and please do open your chat. We will be using chat for your questions instead of Q&A. So any questions you have, please do put those in the chat. All right, if you're having trouble hearing and you won't be able to hear these directions, but I'll tell from my host, you can let them know to log out and log back in. Make sure they select call using computer. Just a different way to say connect sound to computer. We will be having a follow-up email today within 24 to 48 hours after the end of the webinar. And by completing that follow-up feedback survey here in this line, I'm sorry, going too fast, talking too fast, I will slow down. You will get a certificate of completion if you complete at the end of the session the NCEES feedback survey. It will then email you your certificate. It should be within 5 to 15 minutes. You should get that certificate once you've completed that feedback survey. We will include a link to the recording of this webinar and then any resources we discussed during the webinar, and answer any questions remaining from the webinar or asked after the webinar. So again, here is our slides, and we are at this bit.ly, and that should be in your chat that you can link to our slides. So I am Cammie Nairn. I do work for NCDPI for the Digital Teaching and Learning Home-Based Department, and I am your NCEES Education Product Consultant, meaning I manage the system side of the teacher evaluation, and that's your evaluations and your professional development in the online tool. And joining me today, presenting as a host, will be Kathy Kozar-Oliver, and I'll ask her to introduce herself.
Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Kozar-Oliver. I am the Southeast Regional Education Facilitator. I work with Beginning Teacher Support, Teacher of the Year, Principal of the Year, Teacher Working Conditions. But prior to this position, I was the Professional Development Coordinator for Brunswick County Schools, where I lived and loved working in NCEES. And as a teacher, I just want you to know it's just a wonderful way to house all of your information and to stay organized, from your evaluations to your PDPs to your professional development opportunities, and a great way to take a look at those transcripts for license renewal every 5 years. So I hope you're excited about this webinar today and this Webex today, and we just look forward to sharing some information about NCEES. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. And then we also are joined by the awesome Kimberly Simmons. She's the NCEES coordinator, and I will let her introduce herself.
Well, thanks, Cammie. Everyone likes to be called awesome. So, hey, I'm Kim Simmons, and I am the evaluation coordinator for the state, and I'm happy to be here, and I'll be monitoring the questions. I'll answer the ones I can, And share out some of those as well, since they may apply to more than one, but everybody can see if they put them in on the chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be sharing out or interrupting you or
that sounds good.
stopping you, so yeah.
Yep.
Excited to get started. Thanks.
Yep. All right, and I see we have a few with sound issues. They do need to probably go back out and come in and make sure they select their audio. All right, so our agenda for today was we're going to review my professional development. We're going to review the tab for my courses in NCEES. We're going to take a look at my transcript and my Transcript Credit Manager request, and then the resources at the end of our slides.
So, Cammie, I hate to interrupt you already, but I didn't see the same messages that you did about the sound. So is there some reason? Did those come just privately to you?
Oh, let's see.
Or were those in the questions bar?
They're in my chat, but you're not seeing them. So maybe they need to select all participants. That's odd. Huh.
Yes, maybe select all participants. I'll definitely see it. Okay.
Yep. So I don't know if I can write that on the screen. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye on it. I do have a second monitor, so I can kind of keep an eye on questions too. So hopefully you guys that can hear, please select all participants when you're sending in those chats. All right, and again, here's the link to the feedback survey. Good gracious. How much credit will I receive? This was fine earlier today. So you're going to get 0.1 CEU credit, and you will receive a general credit. It's up to your district to approve other types of credits. So if you want to, you can also register for this course in NCEES. And then we will mark you complete at the end of the session, and your certificate will already be in NCEES. You can also do the feedback survey at the end of the day, so we won't walk through all of this. But if you're familiar with signing up for PD in NCEES, you can go out as we go through this session. Make sure you have this course number 17569 and sign up for today's course. And then Kathy and I will make sure you get marked complete, and your certificate will be already available on your transcript.
Cammie?
Yes.
So we have I received a message saying it does not let them select all participants.
Oh, I wonder, can they open their Q&A? Let's try that, I guess.
Okay.
So try opening Q&A and enter a question. If somebody will just test that out. I'm not sure.
Got it. Yeah, we have it. Kim, yes.
Okay, so I guess today we're using Q&A, and we're going to have to figure out why the chat is not letting everybody see those questions. Because I think it worked well in Robert's session the other day. Okay, but he set up a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to turn this over. We have a lot of slides to go through. We probably won't go out to the live site much, but don't be shy. If you need to see something in the live site, please do ask that question, and if we have time, we will definitely go out there for you. I'll try to keep my boxes off the screen. So, Kathy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, great. I just love this graphic because this is about true choice. Just like we offer our children, this is true choice about perfecting our skills as teachers and professional development and professional learning. So I want you to look at all the differentiated ways that we can select professional development in NCEES. So for example, we're all going through MTSS. We all are going through those modules. Once those green check bars are complete, those CEU credits will populate right on my transcript. In our Southeast region, we have something called the C Summit. And so we house all of our regional professional development within NCEES. Teachers are selecting their courses, they attend, and then it populates on their transcript. In our districts, we might have every K-6 teacher going through reading research to classroom practice or math foundations or lesson planning or how to use formative assessments. Well, I can enter those in NCEES, I can complete the course, and then it populates on my transcripts. Everything is housed right there on the transcripts within NCEES. Maybe in my school, I have looked at our data within our school PLCs and faculty meetings, and that is where we can look at our teacher working conditions, decide if we want to do a book study. Maybe that book study will be 10 hours throughout the school year, and maybe you want 1.0 academic subject hours. It populates on my transcript. Then maybe sometimes as we're perfecting our skills and it's all about continuous improvement, I can look at my PDPs and I can see where is it that I want to grow as a teacher. Or my principal, he or she might have ideas of professional development suggestions. So I enter those courses in NCEES, it's housed on I complete the courses, and then it populates on my transcript. So I can even go to NCAT and bring back a certificate, and instead of just losing and being at risk of losing that hard copy of that certificate, I can even attach that and leave it in NCEES to where everything is housed in one place. And so it is just a one-stop shop for our teachers, and just real excited about everything that Cammie's going to show you today about all the professional development opportunities that you're going to see. So thank you so much, Cammie.
Thank you, Kathy. So we're doing a quick Mentimeter poll. If you guys will go, please, to www.menti.com. We'll put that link in the chat as well.
Yes, and so if you go to www.menti.com and enter these numbers, 18, 11, 41, and 4, our question today, and this just kind of drives what we do, how often do you utilize NCEES for your professional development needs? So we will just see as the poll happens, and I'm not really sure, yes, 18, and I can give you that code, Cammie, if you'd like to see that. 11414. And so 1811414. Yes, just a little 4 there.
It's not letting me put a 4 in there.
Yeah, maybe the space. Okay.
Oh, I have too many spaces. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine.
Right.
Woohoo! So how often do you utilize NCEES for your professional development needs? Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? Or whenever it's time to renew my license, which is typically every 5 years. So we'll take a look at that. Just go ahead and submit, and then we'll come back to what our polling suggests and where we are, because this is where, you know, we want to really take ownership of our CEU credits and our professional learning and perfecting our skills as a teacher. So we'll come back to that poll in just a moment.
Okay.
And so, Cammie, thank you so much for sharing that.
All right, thank you. And Kathy, if you'll send me the email, that link, so that I can show those results.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So we'll move on, and Kathy's going to send me that, and we'll show our results in a minute. So we're going to look at NCEES, and hopefully, I don't know if we have any brand new teachers, but most of you are probably already getting into NCEES because you had to complete the beginning of year orientation for your evaluations. So we're talking today about that professional development that you can find in NCEES. And we do have a tab called Professional Development. So everybody has access to that. If you're in NCEES, you can see that. And we're going to look on each upcoming slide. We're going to look at the course search channel, how you can find courses that are aligned to standards channel, how you can find courses that are aligned to focus areas channel. And then we have a channel at the bottom for professional development news. And I do try to keep an eye on the newsletters that are sent out from the different departments at DPI, ELA, World Language, some of the history, all different departments that are sending out newsletters. Of course, they are offering PD. So I do try to post what I can out here in your professional development news. So do keep a check on that. So our first channel is the course search channel. And, of course, you're going to see a bar to enter your search. And what can you put in that bar? Excuse me. It can search for a course number, course title, a course description, a section number, a section title, section notes, and instructor name. So any of those. Notice we have a bullet on courses, so just leave it there while you're searching for courses. If your district is using those awesome PD playlists where they bundle courses together for beginning teachers or lateral entry teachers or mentors, you might need to go search for a PD playlist. You would bullet PD playlist if you're searching for those, or they may be automatically putting you on their playlist, so you don't need to search. But that is available. So once you put in a search, you click search, you're going to get these results that you see over here. I do want to show this link before we delve into this. There's an advanced search, so you could come out here, and if you know the course provider, is it a Moodle course, is it a Canvas course, different things like that, you can then enter that details and click search as well. And then there's also the show all as well to get you to the results page. So here you see an instructor-led course, self-paced courses. DPI courses are going to be mostly self-paced. There may be a few out there that are instructor-led, but mainly they're going to be self-paced courses. And if you have a long list, you can refine it by subjects, by the competencies that are tagged, by the course provider. The opportunity type is an instructor-led. Maybe I'm looking for self-paced only. You can play with those and look through all of those to help you refine your list. So here's a look at that advanced learning opportunities search. Just a close-up look for that. We do have several slides, but they're just screenshots so that when you guys do leave us today, you have a walk-by-walk, step-by-step screenshots to walk you through going and doing this on your own when you have time to in your NCEES system. So here's a picture of the results that were brought up, and you can see it has the course number and the title. It has if it's instructor-led. If it's instructor-led, it's going to have a section, and you're going to need to register through this section. It's going to tell you how many seats are left. If you want to know how many credits it offers, you hover over the credit. Anything blue in NCEES is most likely a link, so just hover your mouse or click on it, and it will give you something to look at. You're also going to see notes about the course, and you can click the read more if there's a lot of notes. And you're going to select the section to register. And for self-paced, you're just going to click the title, and then it's going to give you a start button for a self-paced course. Up here in the very top corner, and we're going to look at this again later, is a pin. Maybe I like the courses, and it's showing off the screen here, but there'll be a pin over here. If you like this course, but you're not sure you want to start it right now, click the pin. And I'll show you where then you can find that pinned course list. So those are, as you're browsing out here, click the pins and save the courses you might want to sign up for. Some of the refinement areas are the subjects. The subjects are going to be like math, AIG, CTE. We've been working with our DPI departments to please tag their courses by those. Several have. Not all courses will be tagged, so do go out there and do a search all sometimes. But if there are many that are tagged, so you can define it by a subject. These next focus alignments are brand new within the past 6 months or so. So Durham wanted some district strategic plan links that they could tag their courses to. So if you're in Durham, you may want to look under there and see which branch of the district strategic plan that course is connected to. And then we just added the DLCs. So these we are working with our DPI groups to please start tagging those because you guys are out there looking for DLC aligned courses. We only have a couple that are tagged right now, so you can go out there and see what those are. And then if they want to tag them to the standards for students, how it might help a teacher meet their digital learning standards for students' needs, that is out there as well. And then you can read over the rest of these. Maybe you need a credit area. Maybe you do need to just search for courses that are the academic credit type. You could use that refinement. Do we have any questions?
Yes, Cammie, I have a question. It states, I am a TA, however, I'm also a certified teacher. How would I sign up for NCEES in order to keep my certification up to date?
Okay, so NCEES only puts in actively employed certified staff that have a certain budget code that puts you into NCEES. So it's your pay code that kind of overall determines if you get into NCEES. Your assistants' pay codes do not get into NCEES. However, I would talk to your district to see if there's a way that they can use other code. But they can't, because they have to be accountable to what pay code they are paying you under. So hopefully they can get you in. If not, I'm sorry, at this time, that's the only way to get in, is to have the codes that NCEES recognizes for certified staff. We are on some PD access, but it's not ready right now. Okay, any other questions?
No, not at this time.
Okay. All right, so here's where you're viewing your courses, and here's a good shot of that pen. And then when you've got your courses pinned, you can show only your pinned courses here when you search for courses. And the next channel down is the Courses Aligned to Standards channel. And this is where you would come out here. If you're a principal, you would click the plus sign. If you're a teacher or a support staff, you would click the plus sign here, because this is going to give you the same kind of standards, whether you're a counselor or a teacher. It's going to connect it to these elements. Even though you see teachers here, I would check them out. So you're going to need to click the Available tab. Explore buttons do not work in North Carolina. Click the Available tab, and then it will give you some results for you to the end, like the results screen I showed you earlier, which courses are aligned to those standards. The next one down is the Focus Area Aligned Courses channel, and then we had already discussed this, so I'll skip on over that. And then here's that news channel. So this is updated. These are old, but do check out what's out there now, and I'll probably be updating those again with this week or next week. So that's the Professional Development tab. I call it your search area. So once you search for a course, maybe you started or registered for a course, where do you go next? And that's going to be your My Courses tab. So up here, it shows My Courses. So again, you've got another, it's the same Professional Development news, so you can go to either tab for news. And then over here on the right, we're going to look at Recommended Training, Required Training channel, your My Courses channel, and your My Surveys channel. So I'm going to skip over the news. Here's your recommended training. Who can recommend training for you? Well, the course developer can recommend training. Your evaluator can actually, during an observation conference, recommend training, and we'll take a look at how they do that. They can also require training. They can also go out into the course search and find a course that they want to recommend to their staff and recommend it from there. So if you've been recommended training, you're going to see it in this channel. So here you see Foundations of Assessment Literacy has been added for my recommended training. And I see this eyeball with a slash through it. So maybe I don't want to take this. I don't even want to see it on my screen. So that's what this eyeball is for. You can click it to hide the course. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to hide the course? And you're going to click Hide Course. Then maybe later you change your mind and you want to see it again. So you're going to click View Hidden Courses and then click the eye to re-show the course so that you can then click it and take the course. If you've been required training, so here I've been required a whole lot of courses that I need to take, maybe on my mentor pathway or some other pathway that my evaluator thinks I should take these courses. So notice I don't have an eyeball. I can't hide these because they're required. It's not going to force me to click the link and start it, but I would probably have a conversation with my evaluator, and they probably will tell you. You don't get emailed when these are out here. You're just going to see them. So have a talk with them and then see at maybe what goals you need to have this done by. So these are required courses. Any questions about that?
Cammie, I do have a question. I just started working in pre-K in a public school setting, so they're asking, will my district assign me the information to get into the NCEES account?
So, yes, if your pay code is one that will let you in there. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it should. I think it should.
Yes. So it's the district that does that. Your HR department can work with your NCEES coordinator if you need access to see if there is a code. We have a list that we share with them of which codes provision staff into NCEES. So if you have any additional questions about that, just email me and we'll get you that list to share with your leads.
Also, for that person that answered the question, I'm going to put a link in the chat so everyone gets it, and that's a link to the pre-K evaluation manual.
Okay, good. All right, so you guys will be doing observations in your evaluations. So when you are in your observation and you're viewing it, and your principal has done the tally marks for your observation, they may be talking with you about how you can grow any areas that are not checked. So as they come in here, they can click this little light bulb. As you come in here and view, you can click this little light bulb. This is where, if the courses are connected to an aligned standard, it will show up under this light bulb. So here I see a list of courses that are tagged to this standard, and I can, my principal in this red area, recommend or require, and to show up in my recommended or required channel a course, they can add it. But if I'm looking at it as a teacher or a support staff, and I really want to find a course that will help me with a standard I need to learn more about, then I can come over to the right and click the register button. So I can register. It's going to ask me to click it again. It's like, are you sure? And then it's going to ask you for one more time to read over the course information and click next and register for you for that course. And then it will show up in your My Courses channel. So those handy light bulb moments we just love. I know Kathy loves them. That's an awesome way to go find some courses. All right, so as we look down to the My Courses channel, there are several items in here. You've got your learning opportunities. So here you see all the courses that I've registered for or I've started. A self-paced you start, instructor-led you register. It's going to have a purple circle if it's in progress. It'll have a green check mark when I complete it. And then if I actually signed up for something I don't want to take and I change my mind, I can withdraw by clicking the door. If I have PD playlists, these little arrows will open this up. See how this one's pointed up and it's opened up my list? You can open up your PD playlist if somebody's assigned you playlists. And here's where you have those pinned learning opportunities. So you can open that up and see anything that you've pinned and then be able to start the course. We're going to look at these bottom buttons in just a second. So here's that learning opportunities. I've opened up my list. There's my withdraw button. Here's a view all. So it's another way to look at your courses. Here you can come click on these titles and get some additional information, course details. And if there are resources attached to the course, there'll be a tab up here that says resources. Maybe they want you to link you out to a website or to a book you need to read. Those will be listed here in the resources tab. If you want to withdraw from this page, it's under the little action menu right here. All right. And if somebody's assigned a survey to take at the end, there'll be a link here for you to complete the survey. Notice in the course details, there's this I'm finished button. It does not work in North Carolina. We expect you to go through your course, and the course will then is set up to feed back your credits, or a teacher needs to mark you complete, and that will also feed back in NCEES to your transcript. So you must complete everything. You can't finish a course by clicking the I'm finished button. If you want to see your course again, that button does work. And I see a question. We are recording this webinar, and we will share it hopefully by the end of the week, hopefully within 48 hours. But we do have some full schedules this week, so I'll get it out there just as fast as I can. So here's your PD playlist. I wanted to show you the PD playlist tab real quick, just to show you what it looks like if your district is using it. It'll give you your playlist, and when you open it up, you're going to see the group of courses that your staff has assigned, that your admin has assigned. It will have blue required courses to take and possibly some green electives. So maybe this course they need to take all the blue and maybe one of these two greens. So they can set a rule. Here's your rule. They have to take one of the two electives and complete all other 5. And we do have webinars posted from last year, and we got more coming up that explain all of this in detail. So do join us again later. Watch for those webinars. So here's your pinned opportunities. I've expanded that. Notice I've got my pins, and now I can click on the links. Learning opportunity is kind of the same as view all. All right, so we're going to kind of skip over that because we've watched view all. And then you have this My Surveys. Some people do attach a survey to their courses for you to take as you complete the course or complete a section. You will get awarded your credit if you complete, but you won't get your certificate until you do your survey. So make sure you do those surveys. And here's if you click on details, it's going to tell you what the course is, what the section number is, when it started, and any notes on that section. All right, so now we're going to get into my transcript, and Kathy's going to talk to you about your transcript. And this, you go in My Courses, and you click on the My Transcript button. All right, so I'll turn it over to Kathy.
All right. Well, I worked with transcripts a lot just because as a professional development coordinator, I wanted to ensure that our teachers were receiving just the best professional development, current strategies, research-based strategies, effective techniques from our great teachers, and they really, with the Southeast Alliance, our teachers are leading the professional development because they know, just like all of you joining us today, they know what works and what are the effective strategies. So that once you have completed those wonderful courses and those wonderful opportunities that Cammie has explained to us today, then all of the CEU credits where I'm truly perfecting my skill as a teacher, and that's the whole purpose of professional development, is housed on this transcript in one place so that when it is time for me to renew my license, which for me, it's June of 21, and I'm going to show you how we can use the transcripts to it's just a seamless process where my CEUs are housed together, and I can submit that to my HR department for submission for my renewal of my license. So I want you to look at this page because we're going to go into detail about how we can print, or we can just email ourselves a copy of our transcripts and our CEU courses that we've taken. Notice that there are many tabs because as a teacher, I am an elementary teacher that is expected to have 30 hours of literacy, 30 hours of academic subject, and 20 hours of digital learning competencies every 5 years. And so I want to grow with that. I want to grow professionally. So we're going to click on some of those tabs in just a moment. and really dig deep into how I can really look deep into each one of those areas to see what I need and what I have earned. And then if you'll look to the right, you'll see there's a tally of just how many CEUs I have, and then I have to calculate, well, how many do I need? So if you'll turn to the next slide, Cammie, that would be great. And I utilize this sort date all of the time because, I mean, I'm going to be honest, years go by quickly. And these last few months have just flown by. I don't know how you feel about that, but it has just flown for me. So all of a sudden, these 5 years, they just kind of sneak up on you. And it's just like, well, when do I need to renew my license? Well, I'm going to show you a little link that's on the DPI website where if you're not sure, well, I'll show you when I renew. We'll plug in my name so that you can see anyone can search for their license. But for me, I'm going to have to go back, since I know that I'm really going to renew in 21, I want to go back to July of 2016 and to the current date, and I want to see within my NCEES transcript if everything is housed in this one place. You know, some districts might use 2 platforms. They might use NCEES and something else. But in Brunswick, we just use NCEES because everything was housed right here. I can put in that date, June of 2016 to current, and I can see, oh, I'm lacking in digital learning competencies, which I am, and I'm going to be working in that area. And that's just an area for me personally where I want to grow. I want to perfect that. So that search bar is really going to help me in NCEES to really think about the years, what I've had during those, what I've had currently in the past 4 years, and then the areas where I need to continue to work. So if you'll turn to the next slide. So that search bar is going to be really important. And then if you'll notice on the transcript page, and this is under My Courses tab, so we all have that. And you're going to see that little My Transcript link under the My Courses. And this is where I can really dig deep into each one of these areas. 30 hours of literacy, 30 hours of academic subject might look different for a high school teacher who's going to need more general hours than something else. So you want to ensure that you know how many hours you need as far as what your area of licensure is. And then, of course, we all need digital learning competencies, and since technology is no longer being used, because we're all following those standards of digital learning competencies, you will see that phase out. And so those technology credits will just move into the digital learning competency areas. So I can click on each one of those tabs and just see exactly how many hours of literacy I have compared to how many hours of digital learning competencies. I might have 16 hours where I need 20. And so I have to decide, what do I need that will truly help me with this skill that will ultimately impact the children in my classroom. And that's the ultimate goal with this. And so again, it's just very easy to navigate and very easy to use. And the next slide.
So I do have a quick question. It says, do you know how long CEU credits last, and where are the CEU requirements listed?
Yeah, and so we do, we can definitely send that to you. So if we, you know, now that we have your email, we have on the DPI website, it tells you exactly how many CEUs you will need according to your area of licensure. And so remember, it's every 5 years. So as much as I want to go back to 2015, because I mean, I had so much professional development back in 2015, because it starts over. That's what's so important about that search bar, because it starts over, and then I need to think, oh, wow, it's 2016. How have I grown professionally? How have I perfected my skills within this 5 years? What have I learned? And boy, have we all learned a lot. And our teachers in North Carolina are the best. And we're just so proud of all of you. But that is what we're doing there. So we can definitely send that to you, and we will. I think this is really important, where we print a copy, and we know that, for example, my transcripts, I've earned those CEU credits. I'm going to take ownership of those CEU credits. I've worked hard for those continuing education units, and so I'm going to print a copy of my transcript. And I might even, instead of printing it, because I'm just not really good about keeping up with hard copies, I might just email me a copy and just make sure I always have that with me, just in case something happens and I might have to, who knows why we have to move from, you know, from one district to another, but I can take my CEU credits with me. And so I just really encourage you to always keep up with those and to print those, or you can just email those to yourself. And that's a great little resource to have, especially whatever your process is with your HR department, to just email a copy of those CEU credits if needed. If everything's needed in NCEES, that's not really needed. So, because we're all looking at the same thing. So, okay. And so then at the bottom of that transcript, so I have, you know, I have all of my courses listed, and you can see the years. I have my search bar. I have all of my little tabs where I can see the academic subject, the literacy, the DLC credits. And then there's a nice little tally box at the very bottom of my transcript that's going to tell me, 0.8 means I have 8 hours of literacy, but as a K-6 teacher, which is me, that's my certification, I need 30. So I'm going to need about 22 more hours. And remember, that's over a period of 5 years. And so that's why I want to monitor this. That's why I want to be very strategic, very intentional about my PDP goals, very intentional about areas where I want to grow. And so this is a great little resource to have. So, and then, again, when you print that, that's what's going to show up. So here, again, this kind of focuses in on the county. You see the course number, the section number, and the actual county you're from. No surveys were required, but it even tells you the date in which you were a part of that learning community when you completed it. Again, that little live blue link, you can print yourself a certificate if you want that. If you want a hard copy and you want to keep a copy of that, or remember, it's going to populate on that tally sheet for you, and this is your transcript. So,
okay.
And then
questions.
And then of course you have those credit hours. So, okay, go ahead.
Sorry, Kathy. Somebody was at a different school. Can they put their credits into NCEES from their other place of employment that was not in NCEES? And I can try to answer that.
Yes, please.
Yes, and I don't know what you did, Kathy, in your district. Maybe you can answer that as well. But some districts do that for you, and other districts do not. So you're going to need to check with your leads and see who will do that. We'll look at Transfer Credit Manager as a possible way to put those in. But what did you do in Brunswick, Kathy?
Well, I mean, we really tried to take, if someone was coming in from another district, we were mindful of their transcripts. So, we would have their transcripts. And, of course, if it was feasible and we could enter it through Transfer Credit Manager so that everything is housed in one place, of course, that's a great opportunity so the teacher can just really remember and see everything in one place. Otherwise, you might want to just keep those transcripts and in NCEES just add to what you're already doing and then put the two together for your license renewal. And so it just really depends on the district and the manpower that you have within that district. But yeah, it's easy just to have laying both side to side. But that's where it's really important for me to have an electronic copy, so that I can always keep up with that transcript, but always take it with you. I think that's a really good lesson to learn from that.
All right.
So thank you.
And do you want to talk about this link, and then we're going
to Okay, so this is the link, okay, that if you're not sure when you're up for renewal, you can click on that link right there. You can put in your first and last name. That's how easy it is, because it's just public knowledge. All of our teachers and our certifications here in North Carolina and what our license, where we're certified. And so I can look this up and I can see, and if you were to look up me, Kathy Oliver, you will see that I am going to expire 6/20/21. And so if you're not sure and you're just not sure who to contact in your district, here is this online link that you can, again, take ownership of that, take ownership of your professional learning, and just where you want to grow with your professional development. So thank you for all you do. You're fabulous teachers, and we really appreciate it. We're here to answer any questions for you if you need anything. We're here to serve you. Thank you.
All right, and then somebody wanted to explain what does this mean? Well, is this different than hours? So if you had 0.15 CEUs, that means you took a course that was worth 1.5 hours, or the other way around. You had a 1.5 hour PD opportunity that earned you 0.15 CEUs. So 1 hour equals 0.1, and you can kind of figure from there. Okay? And if I started a course and it was completed, it wasn't completed during my licensure window. For instance, I started a course before I renewed, but I hadn't completed it yet. When does that course count? It will count probably in the next go round, right, Kathy? It doesn't. You can't turn it in.
Yes, I mean
your cycle.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty definite end of your cycle. So for example, that's one of the things that you want to talk with your district about. So,
okay. All right.
Good question.
All right, we might fly through the next few slides. DPI courses give you a general credit type, but you may want them to be DLCs or literacy if this said general over here. Can you request your district to update your NCEES transcript? Sure. Do they have somebody to do that for you? Maybe, maybe not. You need to check. But it is somebody with NCEES assigned district administrator rights. It's going to be one of your district administrator leads or a PD lead that has district administrator rights. They'll see an edit button. Check with them if they have a process for you to request this change. Then they can come out here and edit and change general to, if they approve it to be digital literacy. DPI doesn't approve those changes. Your district has to do it. Now, they may say, oh, we stored that already in HRMS, so we're going to leave NCEES like it is. And that's the way it's going to be, because you do have a record of what they approved it for in some systems. And while we're talking about that, we are going to have an NC Bold session about PD that is answering a lot of these questions that you guys are asking today. So watch for those there tomorrow if you want to take those NC Bold sessions. All right, so any other questions I can answer? All right, so let's move on to Transfer Credit Manager, because we only have about 12 minutes. So Transfer Credit Manager is a way for you to enter credit requests, credit that you've taken maybe in another county. Maybe you were approved to go to Tennessee and took some PD out there and brought back your required certificate or whatever they requested that you bring back, and you turn it in. Can it be in NCEES? Yes. But, again, you have to have somebody that is approved to approve what you've requested. So I have to set that person. So if your district doesn't know if they have somebody to approve a Transfer Credit Manager request, then have them contact Cammie Marin. My email is on these slides, or they can open a support ticket to ask more questions about that. So, but staff can request credit for a course or learning opportunity completed elsewhere to be added to their NCEES transcript. Just remember, you must have a credit approver, or it's just going to sit out there in limbo and nobody's going to know it's out there. So just because you can see the tab doesn't mean you should use the tab. So check with your district. Find out if they have a Transfer Credit Manager approver. Here is the help guide for that, and it tells you on page 6 how you as a staff person can go out there and enter this request if you know you have an approver to approve that request. And here's how to do it. Transfer Credit Manager, go to New Request. All right, and then it's going to give you a form. You're going to tell what date it was, how many credits it earned, how many hours it was, what credit type you think it should be applied to, and then if you have an approver, they can approve it for your requested credit type, or they can approve it for a different credit type, or they can deny it, and you can resubmit it later after you reviewed why they denied it. So once it's been approved, it does show up on your transcript. Notice you're going to see a lot of words for not step. That's why you're going to know that this is a Transfer Credit Manager entry. There's the title of the entry, the dates of the entry. You don't need a certificate. You probably turned that in when you submitted your form for this request. But you have that all-important credit hours on here, and they'll put in that little total box that Kathy was showing you earlier. And here's that survey. Somebody had a question, can we just like erase old surveys? No. The only way to get this off is to take the survey. So click the button, take your survey, and then you can get your certificate. All right, well, we're making good time. So if you're taking NC Bold sessions, you've learned about this one, Performance Matters mobile app. Anybody can do this on the mobile app tab. This is to record attendance for a session that you are joining. I do have a couple districts that are using this for their locally set up sessions in NCEES, and they love it. So they can either do a QR code on the session, or you have your own personal QR code that maybe you would then scan to them, and either way, it will mark you as attended. So this is the Performance Matters app. You do put it like on your cell phone, go out to your Play Store, look for the Performance Matters app. If your district is using the mobile app, they will set up a QR code for you to scan when it's time to attend that session.
And Kimmy, can I just add something to that? Because we have added all the QR codes to the NC Bold presentations, and it's so easy on my iPad. I downloaded Performance Matters. I found it, downloaded it on my iPad, and then it's immediately how quick, when the QR code is revealed, I can just quickly scan that. It's even already got the courses that I've registered for. I just want to make sure I'm registered for those. And what happens? It immediately populates on your transcript. It's that quick. And so everyone that's in NC Bold today will have all of their credits tonight. Thank you. It's great.
Yeah, somebody does have to mark you completed by attendance. They need to see your attendance, so that's what you're scanning, that you've attended today. Now, we aren't doing that on this course. This is a NCEES course. It's not an NC Bold course, so it's going to be a little different today. And Kathy, I didn't get the Mentimeter link. If you're trying to show that, if you can put it in the Q&A or in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just, I just sent it to your email, but that's it was very much looking at that pretty much on a yearly basis, because we know teachers are so busy each and every day. And so it was monthly and yearly, and we just encourage you and just thank you for all that you do.
All right, so what I'll do is take a screenshot of our results and make sure I put a slide in the slide deck so you can see those results. So thank you for taking that poll for us. If you are an HRMS district and they're putting credits in HRMS, NCEES does talk to HRMS. Again, they have to have somebody that they've said, hey, go out there and run the TNL, it used to be called True North Logic, CEU import, and it will import what's in NCEES over to HRMS. It doesn't go the other way, but it will populate to HRMS. We currently don't populate the link or any of those other systems, but somebody does have to reconcile that report. Here is our NCEES school site. Kim set this up for us. She does an awesome job with this site. We're going to talk more about this in some upcoming sessions, so do watch for that. Do go out there and check your teacher links, your support staff links. We put all our webinars out here. Please go check that out. If you want to know, well, what are all the courses in NCEES that I can possibly take, and you don't want to go in your search bar and look at all of those, I have exported those to this spreadsheet. Click this link up here. It's going to take you to our Google site. You can go through the list, and I'm sorry I can't scroll down, but you can open up this spreadsheet, and it will show you a whole list, course number, title, credit types, and amount of credit. So maybe that's another way for you to go see what we're offering in NCEES. I think over about 75 sessions at least out there, so please go check those out. And remember that this is free for you to take. You do not have to pay for any of these DPI PD sessions. So this is an awesome way to get some credits at no cost and take those and have them posted on your transcript, those credits awarded there. Here's a list of all our upcoming webinars, so the next several slides are those. So today we're in this. Kim's doing one with the principals next week. And then here we're going to teach your districts that are wanting to use their PD office to build out these sessions for you guys. We're having that one on Tuesday, September 29th. So we only got a few minutes. I'm going to flip through the next ones, but do go out there and see what we're offering. Here's your NCEES contacts at DPI if you ever have any questions. So, and I know Kathy's got her information on our first and last slides, but this is our home base and educator support team here that you can contact. Dr. Robert Sox and Dr. Kim Simmons, they answer any policy questions in NCEES. I'll answer your system questions. Why can't I click here? Where do I need to go to see something in NCEES? I'll answer those questions. And then we have home-based advisory reps from these counties here, and they are your voice for NCEES. So if you have issues, talk to your NCEES lead in your district, and they can contact this group here. And then if you want to know who your NCEES leads are, click on this link, and you're actually going to need, when you get into the list, to look at the Unified Talent. NCEES has a lot of names. Unified Talent person is going to be your lead listed out here. So again, thank you for attending. We'll put this link for your feedback survey into the question in the chat maybe. So I think you guys are seeing the links that I do for, because it is going to all participants for our feedback today. And I'm going to pause here. We have 3 minutes to take any additional questions, or if you need to see anything in NCEES. I'll try to scroll through and see if we have anything here. Do join our NC Bold sessions. I think they're going swimmingly well. And if you want to know more about PD, Kathy and I are doing that session, and we will have all those links to where you need to go find all those questions that you had. So thank you for joining today. Let's see. Will you receive a copy of the slides? Yes. I do a follow-up email for our NCEES sessions, so that will be in there as well. And we talked about how to join the NC Bold sessions. If you've registered in NCEES, make sure you go to the My Courses tab, click on one of those titles. You may need to do the View All to get to the Course Details screen. Beside Course Details is going to be a Resources tab with the link to your slides and a link to whatever platform the presentation is in. So tomorrow, for me and Kathy, you're going to look for that Webex link. All right. Kim, did you see any other questions we need to answer?
No other questions.
Okay, thank you so much. I saw you answering a lot of questions out there. I appreciate that. And I hope you guys are awesome joining us today as we're all working remote. And thank you for all you're doing for your students. And you guys have a great evening.
Thanks, Cammie.
Thank you, Cammie. Thank you, and Dr. Simmons, thank you. And all of our teachers out there, thank you.